The city is a web of glass and steel, and at its heart, a room of 100 eyes. Midnight. We're in the city's central surveillance hub, where operators watch over the sleeping metropolis. Dozens of screens flicker, painting a mosaic of empty streets and silent alleys. It's a job of routine, of boredom, until it isn't. On screen 47, a woman appears. She's standing stock still in the middle of Elm Street. Just standing. A patrol car is dispatched. Central, this is car 12. Elm Street is clear. Repeat, the street is completely empty. The operator stares at the screen. The woman is right there. But on the patrol car's dash cam feed, nothing. Just an empty road shimmering under the streetlights. The operator rewinds the feed for screen 47. He scrubs back and forth. Nothing. The woman is gone, as if she was never there. A ghost in the machine. He calls his supervisor, pointing a trembling finger at the monitor. I swear she was right there. The supervisor squints, leans in. Looks like a compression artifact, maybe a reflection. Just a glitch, son. Log it and move on. But the operator can't shake the image. When he'd first seen her before she vanished from the recording, he'd tried to zoom in. Her face was a blur, a smudge of pixels that seemed to resist focus, to actively hide itself. He logs it as a technical glitch, but the words feel hollow, a lie he's telling himself as much as the system. The next night, the glitches start to spread. It's like a contagion. On one screen, a vintage city bus, the kind they retired decades ago, rolls past a corner every hour on the hour. But traffic logs show nothing. No bus, no signal trigger, no record of its existence. Over at a playground, long after curfew, the swings sway back and forth on their own. The camera feed shows the ghostly shapes of children playing, their laughter a faint staticky whisper on the audio channel, even though the park is deserted and locked for the night. The operators exchange nervous glances. These aren't just glitches anymore. The city's digital eyes are seeing things that aren't there, or perhaps things that were and are no longer. One operator, trying to distract himself, starts idly scanning feeds. He stops on a quiet downtown street. Under a flickering streetlight, a figure stands. It's impossibly tall and thin, motionless. He squints. The light source is directly above it, but its shadow stretches out long and twisted in the wrong direction, as if cast by a sun that isn't there. He feels a chill crawl up his spine. He zooms in, but the figure remains a dark silhouette. He blinks, his eyes dry from staring at the screens. When they open again, the figure is closer. Not walking, not running. It just is. Closer to the camera, filling more of the frame, its impossible shadow now crawling up the side of a building. He doesn't dare blink again. Panic is a quiet thing at first. They call in a technician, a guy named Dave, who's seen it all. Or so he thinks. He arrives, grumbling about late-night calls and faulty wiring. As he starts working on the main server rack connected to the camera network, the air in the room grows cold. The operators can see their own breath. Dave shivers, his tools clattering against the metal casing. He glances at a diagnostic monitor. It's supposed to be showing a test pattern, but instead, it shows a reflection. His reflection. Except the feed is from a camera pointed at a brick wall 2 miles away. He sees himself, his own face pale and terrified, staring back from a place he isn't. Suddenly, the system goes wild. Cameras that were offline flicker to life. Every single monitor in the control room, or 100 of them, switches to the same feed. It's a view of the control room itself. But the angle is wrong. It's high up, from a corner where no camera exists. They're being watched. The operators look around wildly, their faces etched with terror. There's nowhere for a camera to be. Then the feed on every screen begins to zoom. Slowly, methodically, frame by agonizing frame, it pushes in on them. Closer and closer, the digital eye descending upon its prey, trapping them in their own panopticon. They are the exhibit. Shut it down. Shut it all down, the supervisor screams, his voice cracking. An operator frantically hits the emergency power off. The room plunges into darkness. The hum of the servers dying with a final wheezing sigh. All but one monitor. A single screen remains on, glowing with an eerie light, powered by something other than the city's grid. On it, they see themselves, still sitting at their consoles, bathed in the monitor's glow. But the room behind them in the image is different. It's dark, empty, and decaying, the walls streaked with grime. And then, a voice. A faint, dry whisper crackles through the single active speaker, a sound like dead leaves skittering across pavement. Keep watching. The power surges back on with a violent crackle. The lights flicker, and every monitor flashes to life, not with live feeds, but with images. Faces, hundreds of them, one after another in a dizzying strobe-like sequence. They are the faces of the missing, people who vanished from the city over the years. Their cases gone cold, their posters faded on telephone poles. Each face, young and old, stares directly out at the screen, their eyes wide with a silent, shared knowledge. And as one, their mouths begin to open. No sound comes out, just a synchronized, silent scream that echoes in the bone-chilling silence of the room, a chorus of the lost, returned to bear witness. One operator finally breaks. He can't take it anymore. He shoves his chair back, scrambles over consoles, and bursts out of the control room, running for his life into the pre-dawn streets. He sprints down the empty concrete canyons, his breath tearing at his lungs. He hears a faint whirring sound above him. He looks up. Every single street camera on every pole, on every building swivels in unison. They turn and follow him, their black lenses like the eyes of 100 mechanical spiders tracking his every move. His phone buzzes in his pocket. It's a notification from the city's public safety app, the live feed. It shows him running, but on the screen he's not alone. Dark, indistinct figures are closing in around him, emerging from the alleyways, their forms solidifying from the shadows. But when he looks, the street is still utterly, terrifyingly empty. Morning comes. The sun rises over a city that seems just as it was. But inside the surveillance hub, the scene is one of abandonment. Chairs are overturned, half-empty coffee mugs sit cold. The room is silent save for the low hum of the monitors, which still flicker with an unnatural light. On every screen, the final feed remains. It shows an empty operator's chair, the one the last man fled from. The image is still a portrait of absence, and then, without a sound, the camera view begins to pan. Slowly, it tilts up from the empty chair, moving toward the viewer. Your heart hammers against your ribs as the lens focuses, the image sharpening, until it reveals the face watching the screen. Your face. The final narration begins, a cold, disembodied whisper. The city was never watching for safety. It was watching to remember who belonged to it.